Can I drag clips to a closed bin? What's the duration of my selected clips? Can I export my VFX titles into my EDL? These questions and more have been asked by editors, and we have answers. So let's dive into the latest features in Avid Media Composer 2021.6. Bins can be packed with media, and depending on the view that you've selected, you can only see a portion of the clips or media that you have available. In the 2021.3 release, we added the function to view the number of clips in your bin, as well as how many items you've selected. Well, the next question naturally was, what about the duration of the items I have selected? Now, when you select a clip, subclip, group, sequence, or any number of items in your bin, you will see the total duration of your selection. And hovering over the duration status will reveal just how many items of each type you've selected. To eliminate extra mouse clicks, we recently introduced the ability to drag items from a bin to an open bin in your project or bin sidebar. In 2021.6, you not only can drag and drop items to a closed bin, but if you drag them to a collapsed folder, the folder expands to show all of the bins within, and you can proceed to drop any items into a bin in that folder. Creating user settings in Media Composer is essential to designing an experience that suits each individual editor. And one feature in the timeline settings provides a few ways to have your timeline display while playing. By scrolling during playback, jumping by page depending on how tight you're magnifying into the timeline, or not moving at all. But to change these settings required you to go back to the settings menu each time. Now with the timeline scroll setting as a single interactive keystroke, the tool can be set into your timeline button bar, and you can choose how you want the timeline to scroll. This is enabled with just a simple click, even while the timeline is playing, and you will not miss a beat. Workspaces are a big part of how I edit and demonstrate Avid Media Composer to others. Customized to your user settings, you seamlessly maneuver between them and have complete control of how they interact. Being able to load the last state of your workspace will take you where you last left it and creates a better flow when you are switching from one workspace to the next. And depending on how you set your bin containers, they can also be saved with your workspaces, enhancing your editorial workflow. The Avid Titler Plus adds new enhancements with a new all-in-one text box. And how the text box is represented gives you feedback regarding what mode you are in. Add text mode is shown with a dotted line, or the selection or move mode is displayed with a solid line. You can insert simple titles with a single click and align it with ease. When you grab the text box corner and the dotted outline turns red, you've activated the word wrap inside of that box. You can also create a text box directly by clicking and dragging to set an area to contain your paragraph or wrapped text. Titles are created for slates, lower thirds, subtitles, and text markers to identify VFX placement or action for a TV show or film. And in 2021.6, you can enable a feature to show your Avid Titler Plus titles as clip text in your timeline. This is not only a visual enhancement to the timeline, but these are important identifiers that also can be exported with your EDL or edit decision list. Being able to move quickly through a sequence to check cut points, markers, and keyframes are an important part to any editor's creative process. They can mark a point in your sequence to come back to later, highlight a note from your producer, or a keyframe to set a level on audio. And now you have the option in the composer settings to not just move to each head frame, tail frame, or marker, but keyframes as well, even when the audio mixer is active. And while we're talking about new features, I want to highlight the new release of Media Composer Distributed Processing. It streamlines processor-intensive tasks by pointing them to connected workers on your Avid Nexus environment. Even beyond the current ability to perform background processes with renders and transcodes, you can choose to take processes from your local system and distribute them to other idle workstations in the facility. And not only renders, transcodes, and consolidating, but the latest version of Media Composer Distributed Processing adds mixdowns and exports as well. So you don't have to schedule your time around exporting your work. Your process is just a click away. With each new release of Avid Media Composer, we are looking to create a faster and more intuitive experience for you. Editors are seeing the benefit and snappier feel of the latest versions, being able to edit faster with fewer clicks, and more efficient tools for renders, transcodes, exports, and other processes. You can always check out what's new in the project management window to see what the latest and greatest features include. Thank you for your time, thank you for your talent, and have a great day.